Well, I guess it was bound to happen, right? The Fighting Vehicle 4005. Man, this thing is a beast. It looks like a KV2, but bigger, with a bigger gun. KV2, 152 millimeters. FV4005, Stage 2, 183 millimeters long barrel. So this thing is pretty nuts. A BL 7.2-inch howitzer. So guys, this is going to be interesting because Gaijin has some choice words to say about how you should play this, and I got a big kick out of it, so I cannot wait to share it with you. Now, interestingly enough, we did play this vehicle in a Men of War Mondays back in June of 2016, so that's what? I don't know, like almost 9 months ago now. So, you know, maybe I'm just a trendsetter over here with the vehicles we show on Men of War Mondays. Hey, Baron, where is Men of War Mondays? Well, that's a good question. We'll get into that a little bit later. So, Gaijin is happy to present a top-tier experimental tank destroyer, the FV4005 Stage 2, with a 183mm gun, which is a modified version of the BL 7.2-inch howitzer. Fighting Vehicle 4005 was manufactured as a single prototype that underwent test trials and was based on the Centurion hull with a massive turret and a very thin layer of armored protection and massive rear overhang to provide necessary ammunition storage. I mean, look at that overhang for ammo in the back. I cannot wait to see the X-ray of this thing. The project started in the early 1950s with an attempt of upgunned version that housed 183mm weapon with an automatic loader in a limited traverse turret, so-called Fighting Vehicle 4005 Stage 1. Both versions were very close in design to the Fighting Vehicle 4004 Conway that was designed as a stopgap to fight the Soviet IS-3 tanks. The Stage 2 prototype was powered by the Rolls-Royce Meteor engine with a maximum of 650 horsepower. The tank was able to reach 18 miles per hour, or 29 kilometers per hour, on flat terrain such as road surfaces. Wow, the typos here are so bad. Who is translating? In the 1957, you mean in 1957, the tank destroyer was canceled due to it being deemed an unnecessary and dead-end project. You ever wonder real quick if like Gaijin should just have like, you know, a Western correspondent on hand for like, hey man, maybe we reword this, or maybe, oh, by the way, maybe like Western society, you know, basically Western Europe and the United States, maybe that their culture of video game players don't like this, or maybe they really, really would like this, right? I don't know. I've always thought that. I was like, I imagine this, and this is just ridiculous, by the way. Let's just point that out. A post-Soviet economy, right? I'm thinking like, the wall's just been torn down, and Gaijin starts up their offices, and some, you know, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed guy with glasses from Massachusetts goes over to work in the Kremlin for Gaijin's offices as like, you know, a Western propagandist, right? Anyway. My imagination runs wild, but that's the beauty of it, right? In War Thunder, the tank will require a specific gameplay approach by being a relatively slow vehicle with very thin layer of armor on the massive turret housing a very powerful main armament. So if you look at the triangle of armored vehicles, you have speed. Well, you kind of have speed, and let's just call it speed to simplify it, right? How well does the vehicle move? You've got speed, you've got armor, and you've got armament. Well, this thing has, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, its speed would probably be a 2 to 3, and its armor would probably be a 1 to 2. And then its armament would be a 10. So this is not a balanced vehicle at all, right? So then, therefore, it needs an unbalanced approach. Now, so what Gaijin says is you need to find a suitable tactical position on a higher ground that is able to hide the full profile of the vehicle, which is kind of funny, and cooperate with other players to find unsuspecting victims for your state-of-the-art gun. So basically, the number of positions on a map are going to be like a handful at best. Move from your cover, shoot your enemy, one hit will absolutely do, and retreat back to a safe location. Be sure to change your position from time to time, but keep in mind that big open areas are not friendly to this grand beast. Yes, Peekaboo sums the recommended tactics the most. This is the Peekaboo tank, ladies and gentlemen. Now we need our resident British guy. We don't have one. Maybe I need, just like the Kremlin, you know, Gaijin in the Kremlin needs a Western propagandist. Maybe I need a British propagandist. Someone to make me tea and use that sexy accent to just like tell me things like, Baron, you have shot your pants today. Baron, we must use the Peekaboo tank strategy today. That would be pretty nice. Anyway, the unarmored massive turret is a dream target for many of the enemies you will meet. It can be penetrated even by high caliber machine guns, and any received hits will cause damage to much needed crew and the only strength of this tank, its firing compartment. Find your target, destroy it without any compromises, and move on. Make your enemies fear. Make your enemies fear of you on the battlefields. Make your enemies fear of you. Make your enemies fear of you on the battlefields. Make your enemies... Make your enemies fear you on the battlefields. Or make your enemies fear of you on the battlefields be so much that they cower in fear. That would work. Maybe I should be the propagandist. The Western consult of sorts at Gaijin headquarters. The first thing I would do is the Charby one, but I would have French tanks and Italian aircraft being added, because that is something I almost made a video on like 3.75 years ago, and I was like, oh no, it could be a few months down the way, and like I'd rather have like video and pictures of it than instead of just me talking about it. So make your enemies fear of you on the battlefields, guys. Use Peekaboo. We hope this unique tank destroyer will add to the massive diversity of tactics used on the fields of War Thunder. Good luck. Oh, and remember, if you're out of ammo and the situation is dire, the tank cannon would probably be able to shoot even some of your more redundant crew members. That's how big it is. What? What? I don't understand that. Anyway. So, interestingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, Fighting Vehicle 4005. Now, this is a beast. I think it's a good addition to War Thunder. It could build that, like, I mean, not nearly as much, because let's be honest, the cult of the KV-2 is probably the strongest cult within War Thunder. And by cult, I mean everybody loves that tank. You see it, you're like, oh shit, it's a KV-2. Time to run, or time to kill it. But if it's reloaded and it's aiming at you, you get scared. A little bit of your soul falls out of your butt as you're playing the game when you see a KV-2 looking at you and you're reloading and he's not. You realize what's about to happen. You know, the KV-2 is just such an iconic looking vehicle. I've even heard, for those of you Men of War Monday fans, I've even heard that there's a KV-222 with 3 152mm howitzers stuck in a single giant casemate style. Well, not casemate, but in a single turret. What a beautiful thing that would be, right? Man, whoever came up with that guy's pretty cool in my book. Thanks for making a video on that. We also have a video on FV4005 in Men of War Mondays. Men of War Mondays, I need to bring it back. In fact, I'm working on some vehicles that were Battlefield 1 inspired right now. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a little bit of the FV4005 video playing in the background. There'll be a link in the video description if you want to check it out. But this is also like kind of a call to arms. You know, the first question of the day is, are you a fan of this? I don't think I read whether it would be premium or not. That was a pretty big omission. Normally they address this thing. I mean, it could be that I missed it. I have the ADHDs. The ADHDs, right? But, yeah, it doesn't say if it's premium or not. Maybe it's in the title. Big Box Surprise! That's the title. Why don't a big box surprise? Peekaboo! Oh man, it's a cool vehicle. But anyway, so Men of War Mondays. Men of War Mondays. Do you guys want that series to return? Because the episodes seem to be recently hit or miss. Let's check it out actually, because some of the vehicles or some of the videos did so well it was ridiculous. Let's see. We're searching the channel right now. Searching Men of War. The last Men of War. The last, what? Yeah, let's see. I guess a lot of it probably was crappy thumbnails. If I look at it and I'm honest to myself, the thumbnails are very hard for me to do in Men of War. But anyway, you know, and obviously thumbnails are a big grabber because like you guys are overwhelmed with like the amount of content coming to you each day. So anyway, I guess I understand. You know what? Maybe I should just man up, sack up, and bring back Men of War Mondays. Who would like that? If you do, let me know. You know, that stuff. I want this community. We've been a little bit stagnant, and that's because, you know, I've been working on a lot of projects, but I think it's time to bring everything back to the forefront and bring back one of my favorite series ever. And if we go off views, you know, and interaction, I definitely think that Men of War Mondays was a rather popular series. We're also bringing back first-person shooters, man. Battlefield 1 and Rising Storm 2. Rising Storm 2 is so intense. The feeling of that game when in my first 2 hours of playing it was just so much fun. I was having so much fun playing that game. Battlefield 1 is a completely different vein of first-person shooters altogether. It's very systematic. It's very intense and overwhelming at times because of the amount of people and the number of vehicles and all that, but I do love that game. And with the new DLC coming out, I'm definitely wanting to hop back in. So I think it's an exciting time for the channel. If you have any other games or ideas that you think would be fun, leave them in the comment section. Let's get a discussion going. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Fighting Vehicle 4005 is coming. The Peekaboo Big Box Surprise. Which I'm a fan of this. You know, don't get me wrong. I just think all the little nuances in these posts are usually pretty humorous for me. Anyway, guys, hope you all are having an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy Tuesdays. Yo, move out of the way, troops. Oh, hello.
Yes, sir.
Sacrifice your life. Wow. The pathfinding in this game is so brilliant. What is it? A Panzerwaffe? You know what? I see your train. You don't need that train anymore.
That was fucking rude.
Dude, yeah.
Let's be honest here. That was.
I gotta reclaim my Golden Eagles trains here, slick. Oh god, what is that thing?
See,
Oh shit, I missed.
Let's see how mighty you are.
Oh god, let's see how mighty you are, huh?